The overhead bins slammed shut as passengers settled into their seats on Flight 447, bound for Atlanta. 15-year-old Marcus readjusted his backpack, his grandmother Diane beside him in the window seat. The cabin hummed with the usual pre-flight chatter, a mixture of excitement and tired resignation. "Excuse me, Bob," a sharp voice cut through the noise. Marcus looked up to see a flight attendant, his name tag reading Derek Walsh, towering over him. "That bag needs to go up there, not under the seat." Marcus blinked. "Sir, it fits perfectly under. Did I ask for your opinion?" Walsh's eyes narrowed, his voice dropping to a venomous whisper. "People like you always think the rules don't apply." Diane stiffened. "Excuse me. What did you just say?" Walsh ignored her, grabbing Marcus's shoulder roughly. "Stand up when I'm talking to you." 3 rows back, a woman in a gray suit watched the exchange with growing alarm. Helena Grant, federal judge for the Northern District, had seen enough courtrooms to recognize injustice brewing. She unbuckled her seatbelt slowly, her instincts screaming. "Sir, please don't touch me," Marcus said, his voice steady despite the tremor in his hands. Walsh's face flushed red. "You getting smart with me?" His grip tightened, fingers digging into Marcus's collarbone. Other passengers turned now, phones emerging from pockets, recording the confrontation. "Let go of my grandson." Diane's voice rose sharp and clear. Walsh yanked Marcus into the aisle. The teenager stumbled, tried to pull away. What happened next occurred in seconds but felt like slow motion. Walsh's fist connected with Marcus's face, a sickening crack echoing through the cabin. Marcus collapsed, blood streaming from his mouth, his jaw hanging at an unnatural angle. Screams erupted. Passengers jumped from their seats. "Nobody move." Judge Grant's voice cut through the chaos like a blade. She was already in the aisle, positioning herself between Walsh and the injured boy. "I am Federal Judge Helena Grant, and I just witnessed an assault. Sir, you will step back immediately." Walsh's confidence faltered, but only for a moment. This kid was being aggressive, threatening. "I have 30 witnesses who will say otherwise," Helena interrupted, her phone already out, documenting Marcus's injuries. "Captain, we need an emergency landing. Now. This child requires immediate medical attention." Diane cradled her grandson, tears streaming down her face. Marcus's eyes were wide with shock and pain, unable to speak through his shattered jaw. The pilot's voice crackled overhead. "Ladies and gentlemen, we are making an emergency landing in Memphis. Medical personnel will be waiting." Walsh backed toward the galley, his face pale. "This is a misunderstanding. He saved it for the investigators," Helena said coldly. She turned to the passengers with phones. "Everyone who recorded this, please do not delete that footage. You will be contacted for statements. What you witnessed today was a federal crime." A man in a business suit stood up. "I got everything. From the first word to the punch." A teenage girl nodded. "Me too. He never touched that flight attendant. Never threatened anyone." The plane descended rapidly, the Memphis skyline coming into view through the windows. Paramedics boarded the moment the aircraft stopped, rushing to Marcus with a stretcher and medical equipment. Police officers followed, but their attention was on Marcus until Helena stepped forward. "Officers, I am Judge Helena Grant." She displayed her credentials. "The perpetrator is the flight attendant, Derek Walsh. The victim is Marcus Reed, a minor who was assaulted without provocation. I witnessed the entire incident, and there are multiple video recordings." The lead officer's demeanor changed instantly. "Judge Grant, we'll need your statement." "You have it, along with a formal request for FBI involvement. This occurred on a commercial flight, which makes it a federal matter." Helena's voice was still wrapped in silk. "I want this man arrested immediately, and I want every witness statement documented before anyone leaves this airport." Walsh was handcuffed, still protesting his innocence. "You don't understand. These people, they always that's enough," the officer said, cutting him off at the hospital. Marcus underwent emergency surgery. His jaw was wired shut, his face swollen and bruised. But in his grandmother's hand, he held a card with Judge Grant's personal number written on it. "Justice will be served," Helena had promised before they wheeled him away. "I guarantee it." The investigation moved with unusual speed. FBI agents uncovered 14 previous complaints against Walsh, all from passengers of color, all dismissed by the airline. Security footage from the aircraft showed everything, crystal clear and damning. The passengers came forward one by one, their testimony unanimous. 2 weeks later, Marcus sat in a federal courtroom, his jaw still wired but healing. Walsh stood before Judge Helena Grant, who had recused herself from sentencing but not from ensuring the case received proper attention. Another judge would deliver the verdict, but Helena had made certain every detail was documented, every witness heard, every piece of evidence preserved. Walsh received 18 months in federal prison for assault. The airline faced a civil lawsuit that would result in a $2 million settlement for Marcus and mandatory anti-discrimination training for all employees. New policies were implemented, complaint systems overhauled, and 3 executives lost their positions. On the courthouse steps, Marcus faced the cameras for the first time since the attack. His jaw was healing, his voice returning. "I was scared that day," he said quietly. "But Judge Grant showed me that one person standing up can change everything. Justice isn't always fast, but it's worth fighting for." Helena stood beside him, her hand on his shoulder. Marcus's courage in the face of hatred reminds us why we fight. Why we never stop fighting. Today, justice won. Tomorrow, we make sure it wins again. The crowd applauded as grandmother and grandson walked away, their heads held high. 30,000 feet above, another flight took off, carrying passengers who would never know the battle fought in their name. But in courtrooms and cockpits, in training rooms and conference halls, the message was clear: racism would not fly. Not anymore. Not ever again.